Hello again, my Maple Leaf fans. Today was locker cleanup day, so you're gonna hear from Auston Matthews. He's gonna tell you how he feels about the season that ended, even though he was injured. So I'm gonna take you live to the Auston Matthews press conference.
Yeah, just before we get going, obviously, this was a tough year. It was a frustrating year. We didn't meet the goals or the expectations that we set out at the start. And ultimately, that's on me. That's on us as players. We're the ones that have to go out there and compete and play the game. And we didn't do that well enough this year, consistently enough this year to put ourselves in a better spot. We love our fans and we appreciate our fans. I think we understand their frustration. I think we wear that alongside them. I think everybody here wants to win, wants to do their part to help the team win. I love being the captain of this team. I think it's an incredible honor to wake up every day and wear this jersey. And I think that's not lost on me, even despite the circumstances and the way that the season went.
Also, there's been a lot of people projecting their thoughts on what you think of the future of this franchise and your place within it. I'm sure you've heard that. How do you view your future with the Leafs moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I can't predict the future. Obviously, there's steps that kind of have to, take place. They're going to hire new leadership at management and stuff like that. I don't really know. I think that's kind of, like I said, I can't really predict the future.
But for yourself personally, is this a place you want to be, or would reject any suggestion that you should not be here for the remainder?
Yeah, I think all that stuff. I mean, there's always noise and there's always chatter. I think personally, I really don't pay attention to all that. I just focus on myself, focus on this team, and trying to be a part of the solution.
How does you interpret Matt when the good as it happens and there's no reaction from your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, that's, it was an unfortunate play. I thought, they responded in the third period, but, it's an unfortunate play, so.
How is the rehab, and will you be ready for next season?
Yeah, it's going good, really good. I'll be ready by next season and have a pretty normal summer for the most part. I'm about a month down now, so a couple more months before I can kind of start to turn it up a little bit.
What did you think of the hit, and what did Radko and you talk about afterwards? He said he messaged you or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably know how I feel about the hit. Up until a couple days ago, I just got off crutches, so I didn't think I was going to be standing here today, so it's going well so far. But, yeah, I mean, I think, him reaching out, that's, kind of, a personal conversation and whatnot. But, yeah, like I said, I think you know how I feel about the hit.
When you look back at this season, where do you think things went wrong?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's like a more complicated question than I can really answer. I mean, I think just the level of consistency that, we didn't play with, hurt, because I thought we had really good stretches of hockey throughout the year and put together some good games, but just the consistency night after night wasn't there.
Is it frustrating for you at all that you're 10 years here? This will be your fourth general manager, possibly your fourth coach. That's a lot of change with the same players at the top, so to speak, other than one that just was gone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's completely abnormal to, I mean, you look around the league and, look around each individual team. I think, there's always change after, each season. Obviously, there's 31 teams that go home not happy about how their season went. But, I think for us personally, like I said earlier, I mean, we take that accountability as players because we're the ones that have to go out and play and do that. And, unfortunately, when we don't do that well enough, and we don't meet those goals and expectations. People are let go, lose their jobs, and there's change. So, I think that's on us for sure.
There's a strange thing about Toronto, and I've been here way too long to put it into years, but this is a city that blames GMs and coaches much more than they ever blame players or single out players. Why do you think that is, that this market is so hard on management and so hard on coaches?
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know. I can't answer that question. Sorry.
Auston, is there anything you need to hear or want to hear from the next GM of the team to have confidence to stay around?
I don't know if there's anything in specific. I mean, I think those conversations are going to be personal and private. We're not even at that point yet. Obviously, we're still in the searching phase, I guess you could say, for them. So I think when those conversations comes, when the time comes, those conversations will just happen organically.
What's your relationship with Craig and how you were used this year under Keith?
Yeah, I have a great relationship with Chief, and I have a ton of respect for him. In the end, like the coaches make the decisions on how they feel it's going to help the team win, and for myself as a player, I just try to go out there and execute and play my game no matter what the situation is or the usage is. My job is to go out there and compete and produce and do all that stuff. So, that stuff kind of comes second.
Talk a little bit about your last 6 weeks. You go from captaining an Olympic gold medal team to be knocked out for the season to watching this team lose its final 7 games. I mean, just the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I think that can kind of just sum up the whole entire season, to be honest. A lot of ups and downs, probably more downs than ups, but I think it's a privilege to play in this league, and like I said earlier, it's a tremendous honor to wear this jersey, and despite going through ups and downs, that kind of thing is definitely never lost on me.
Auston, what do you think is the biggest reason the team went from where they finished last year to the season that they had this year?
Yeah, again, I mean, I think that's a more complicated question than I can really give an answer for. I mean, I think there's a number of different things, but in the end, consistency I thought was just a big issue.
How did you feel, Auston, physically prior to the knee injury this season?
I felt good. I mean, it's I think coming back from the Olympics, it was tough. Obviously, riding a very big emotional high, and then just trying to get back into it from continuing to play, not really getting a break, travel and all that stuff. But it was I found it kind of hard to get my game going back after the Olympics for a little bit.
Would you be on board with the? Do you still think you can win here?
I do.
Yeah. What gives you that belief?
I mean, I believe in the guys in this room and the people that we have here. Like I said, we're going to hire new leadership and management, and there's going to be changes, and that's just the way things go. But I think we're all hopeful that this is kind of like a one-off. See it kind of happen to a couple teams. I mean, I think Boston's obviously the latest example, but you kind of hope that you can bounce back and be in a better situation than we were this year.
Would you be on board with a one-year retool?
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's I don't know what that means. I think you have to have a more clear understanding of what that means. Retool, rebuild, whatever that is. But I mean, that's something that's going to kind of be up to the new management that we end up hiring and going from there.
Pelly said he was going to lean heavily into AI. I'm a little confused about what he meant by that, but I'm sure you saw the comments in emphasizing that kind of data. Do you understand what he's talking about, or its application in sports?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think there's I think like AI is obviously a very like big, like very vague kind of statement, but I think there's a lot of data that, you know, we have now with technology, with AI that can be used for a lot of positive things. I mean, I'm not sure it's the answer to everything, obviously, but I think there's a lot of things that, you know, they can do now through that kind of system where, you know, it can maybe give you certain advantages in different, you know, areas, not just on the ice, but off the ice, training, stuff like that. So, yeah.